All right. Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Mike, and you're watching the Modern Day Artist Podcast. Today's guest is Carina Barrios.
Yes.
Carina Barrios. I remember I told you on the phone, I was like, Carina.
Uh-huh.
But you were like, oh, you say it with the accent or not like that. Where are you from?
I'm from Jersey originally,
South Jersey, right?
yeah, down by Atlantic City. But I'm Puerto Rican, Korean, and Italian. So like all my parents are immigrants. I mean, my grandparents. I'm sorry. Came from other countries and stuff.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I don't know any other languages besides
you
English.
You don't speak Spanish?
I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak
Dude,
Korean. I don't speak Italian. I wish I did though, but.
So she is an R&B pop singer. She's a songwriter. She does acting. She does dancing. She does a whole lot of different things. Mm-hmm. She's also an A&R.
Yes.
But I guess right off the bat, could you just talk to the people about what you do and introduce yourself to everyone?
Yes. So I'm Carina Barrios. I'm 26. Jersey artist. I'm a singer, dancer, actress, and model. The A&R thing is a little bit new. I started a company a few months ago. It's called Popular Outcast Management. That's been really exciting. I've been able to leverage my platform and my experience to help others. But, I've been singing since I was a little girl. Loved Michael Jackson. He was my first inspiration.
I saw one of your other, because you have a bunch of podcasts.
Uh-huh.
And I definitely want to tap into the fact that how you do these marketing stuff. You're pretty much everywhere trying to promote yourself. But the Michael Jackson stuff, what kind of people were those people that were influencing you aside from Mike, but when you were growing up?
When I was young, I would say when I was really, really young, my grandma used to babysit me and would spin his records. So that's how I got put on to Michael Jackson.
Actually spin them?
Yeah, actually spin the records, the vinyl records. So as a little kid, I just loved his music. I would sing and dance all the time. It was something that just came natural to me. As a kid, I enjoyed it. But other inspirations when I was young was definitely might sound silly, but Hilary Duff, Lizzie McGuire, I loved her.
And what was it that attracted you to it?
I think it was just the energy, to be honest. Just the energy of music. I always loved to move and dance and just have fun, and also have the spotlight on me. It sounds kind of silly.
Nah, it's not.
But especially at a young age, I would go home, I'd be in my room, listen to music, and be like, Mom, Dad, watch this new dance I just made.
You would say that you were really an entertainer.
Yes. That's what I like to, call myself. I don't want to put myself in one box just as an artist or a model or dancer, whatever it may be. I like to entertain. I want to be an entertainer, a well-rounded entertainer as well. Mm-hmm.
So one thing that I like to tap into is the timeline, right? So
okay.
you've been starting since you were really little.
Yeah.
If you can give us I guess a brief little timeline up to this point as to what's going on in your career. And there's so many little things I want to tap into here because you've done some stuff. You've been on some shows.
Yeah.
You've been in some music videos. But yeah, give me this little timeline.
So, started out at a young age just doing stuff in school, really. School plays, talent shows, all that good stuff with sing and dance. Mm-hmm. That's what got me into acting as well. I would say the first thing I really tried to pursue was acting. Started working with an agent, took acting classes, photo shoots, the whole thing. Went to auditions. But something about it, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't a passion for me, you know what I mean? And I still always loved music. So my first real opportunity as an artist and a singer when Vine was really big.
That was your first opportunity?
I guess my first professional opportunity as far as being in the industry for real.
Okay, what's that story?
I was 14, so there was this tour that a lot of the famous Vine dudes were on, Nash Greer, Cameron Dallas, Jack and Jack, Taylor Kniff, just to name a few. I don't know what the heck they're doing now, but at the time they was popping.
Gotcha.
So that tour was having auditions to be an opening performer. Found out about it. It was in Jersey too, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Told my mom. I was 14 at the time. So she brought me, we went to audition, and I made it, which was really dope. So
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. At that point, so you were a 14-year-old, and you had been doing music and stuff up to that point, and you heard about this through what, Vine or
through Instagram, I believe, or Facebook maybe. I don't even know if I had Instagram at that time.
Yeah. And what would you say, what was the because this is something that you have to reach out, you have to go out of your way, and kind of put yourself, you have to trust and believe that you can do it. Where did that come from? Where did that belief come from?
I think just over the years when I was young doing performance performances in school. You know, my first time ever on stage, I was probably like 4 years old. I played an owl in Oliver Twist.
Oh.
And like every year I would do the school plays, every year I would do the talent shows. So, you know, I had the confidence from performing like within those productions. But like outside of school, really never like did too much besides the acting. Like,
Gotcha.
you know, but it was different performing for real, just me on the stage singing to people. So I don't know. Honestly, I think that like that feeling and the confidence has just always been instilled in me from my family. Gonna be very honest.
Once you reached out and then they said yes, obviously.
Yes.
So what happened from there?
So I was super excited. You know, I was like, I couldn't believe that I even like had that opportunity. But so, you know, like every weekend we would do shows. I would travel like the tri-state area, New York, Jersey, Philly, sometimes Delaware too. And then, you know, I'd have like rehearsals during the week. It was so cool. I low-key felt like Hannah Montana, which was like another one of my inspirations for sure. Like, you know, I would go to school, be a normal girl after school. I'd go to rehearsals. On the weekends, I'd be on tour. Like,
that must have been a good feeling.
Yeah.
Like, how like put yourself in like your shoes back then. Like, how were you feeling when you were first starting out and you realized like, yo, I'm actually like doing the thing. Like, I'm doing a thing.
I think it was like what's the word? Imposter syndrome or something.
That's a huge thing.
Because as much like as excitement there was within me and like just the whole situation in general, I don't know, like at that time, because I was first starting out and I felt like I didn't have like too much experience under my belt as far as like being an artist and actually singing, performing for, you know, an audience. So I don't know, there was definitely a lot of like doubt and nerves and like everything like that. But the more I did it, the more comfortable I got, the bigger shows that I did, you know, the more people that like came up to me and said like, you know, your voice is awesome. We loved your performance, you know, that definitely instilled confidence in me as well. So
yeah, and like so imposter syndrome is like I felt that at times and like with doing what you do. How would you say like you managed to like, or what do you tell yourself in your head to like get you through those moments where it's like, oh, like people come up to me and they're like, oh, you're doing so well, like I see what you're posting, I see blah blah blah. And I feel like a lot of creators might fall into this, like people say like you're doing so well, but like deep down inside you're like, yo,
it's
like,
not enough.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think? What do you tell yourself?
I don't know. It's like a 50-50 thing where like half of me is like that, where I'm like, you know, I'm not doing enough. I haven't reached my fullest potential. Like, you know, there's so much more I could be doing every day. But then the other half of me is just like, I guess it's not, I don't want to even use validation because I'm not looking for validation from anyone. But it's more of that reassurance, like, okay, I am doing this for a reason, you know what I mean? And like ultimately the goal is for the world to be inspired, to be moved and, you know, listen to my songs and feel something from it, whether you like it or not, you know? But when others like do reassure me, it definitely feels good, you know? It gives me more of a purpose to keep going as well.
Yeah, and what happened after you got like this opportunity with the Vine guys and stuff?
So it lasted for about like a good year. I was touring like on the weekends. Super dope. I got to meet so many different people. And then it was the first time that I got like, you know, the opportunity to perform, to record in a professional recording studio. Because up until that point, I never actually like recorded any songs. Like at home, I had my own mic equipment and stuff. And I would just drop little covers here and there on SoundCloud. But then, yeah, I got to record at a really nice studio. You know, they introduced me to an engineer and a producer. I actually had a meeting with Shampoo, I'm going to name drop, from an A&R from Def Jam. So that was like a cool experience at such a young age too. It's just like, you know, what am I getting into? But it was dope. So I started recording in the studio. I did a cover, like a little music video to it. Nobody go look it up because I look crazy in it and sound crazy, but whatever.
A digital footprint will get you.
Yeah. Still on my YouTube channel. But yeah, so, you know, I got to record, built up my experience, like actually recording, learning that side of like what it takes to make music for real. Because, you know, not that I didn't know, but I haven't experienced it myself, you know?
Yeah, I have a question. Like, I called some of my buddies up before I did this, and I was like, yo, you're an artist. You guys do like art and stuff. Like, what kind of questions do you want me to ask? And it came down to like the creation of it.
Right.
And you yourself are a songwriter. And the question, I have it written down, it's like, how do you formulate your songwriting? Like what, like, you know, some people, everyone has like a different structure. Some people don't write at all. So like, how do you do it?
Personally, sometimes it's a little different. Each time depends on the mood for real. Like there's times where I feel like I would do it, in the very general way where I'll find a beat, hum to it, create a melody, and then I'll put words to it.
So that's usually how it goes.
That's my usual flow of things. But sometimes I'll just like have a melody already in my head, or I'll just have lyrics in my head that I'll write down in my phone in my notes.
Yeah.
And then once I do come across a beat that I feel like, can I make this fit? I'll piece everything together.
And where would you say that the lyrics that come into your head, like when they do? Because I've made some music here and there, and like it does kind of free flow sometimes. But when you have those lyrics that you like, okay, I love the way that these words are put together, and I want to turn into songs. Where would you say that inspo comes from?
It comes from different places, to be honest. I think it comes from like somewhere deep in my brain, deep in my heart, my life and the things that I've experienced. But also like I'm inspired a lot by just music that I listen to, I wouldn't say the lyrics exactly like that's copywriting, but like I would listen to other songs, and there'd be certain things that I really enjoy or really like in a certain song, and I would tailor it and make it like into my own thing. So and then like sometimes there's just songs stuck in my head, so I'm like, damn, like this is really catchy, how can I make something kind of similar, create the the same vibe in a way.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And then so you said that for the first time ever you were in these rooms where you were in studios and you had recording engineers. For people that haven't like worked with these kinds of people before, like what can you tell us about that experience?
Like being in the studio and just
like
working
being
with
in
professionals.
The studio, working with professionals.
It can be very intimidating at first. It can. And I feel like, for me personally, when I am recording and in the studio, and this goes if it's your first time or if you've done it 300 times, like you do definitely need to be around people that you feel comfortable around. That's not always the scenario, especially when you get like put into different places and have different opportunities where you can't really select who you're working with. But, biggest thing and tip to like upcoming artists is find a team and find an engineer, a studio, a producer. If you need a songwriter, find people that resonate with you and the message that you are trying to deliver in your music. And make sure that they're open to like collaborating and understanding your vision and what it is that you want your brand and message to be. Because, I've experienced people saying like, no, like you should be this kind of artist and you should talk about this kind of stuff. And it's just not me, and then it makes me feel uncomfortable. And then I go and record a song. And of course I'm going to try it because it's like, I want to step out of my comfort zone sometimes as well, see how something might sound, take someone else's idea and bring it to life on my end. But then you're just not happy like with the final product, and that's never a good feeling. So
you kind of started tapping into like, oh, like sometimes you don't really have a choice because it's like it's an opportunity that's given to you because of an outside source, whether it's like something bigger, for example, and you do, like you're kind of being pushed in a certain direction. Like, do you have experiences that you could talk about like when that has happened?
Yes, for sure. Not to go like too deep into it, but I did have another opportunity. I guess this was like in 2018, I believe. I was out in Connecticut. I got selected to be a part of a reality show. It was called Making the Label. So it was based on like my artist development. And, it was a whole thing, whole production crew. It was amazing. Like, it was awesome while it lasted. But the executive producer of the show did have a specific vision for it. And then also, like, the longer I was there, the more that vision was altered into, like, his own thing, which was not something we agreed on in the beginning. But he wanted me to be very, like, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon type vibe, which is, like, me personally and my brand has always been something that is, like, friendly for any ages. Like, I want kids to enjoy my music and I want older people to enjoy my music and everyone in between. So like, there are certain things about my image that like I resonated with this specific opportunity. But he was just like, okay, I have a few tattoos, just a quick example.
Yeah.
Little tattoos here and there, whatever. That means something to me. And like, obviously, my image was presented at the beginning before I decided to actually join this opportunity. And then, as we got to recording and like certain, even like a regular shirt, and I have this little tattoo here, he was like, we got to get rid of it. Like, da-da-da-da-da. If my nails weren't painted like a certain color, I would have to change them to the color he wanted me to be. And then even, going into like what I was singing about, the image I was portraying like on camera, I just didn't feel, I don't want to say not comfortable. It just wasn't me.
It wasn't aligned.
Yeah.
You guys weren't aligned. And then from there, like, obviously, I'm sure, like, there has been some tough conversations to go from there. But then once as you go through it, you start to realize, okay, I do align with this, I don't align with this.
Right.
And as you grow older and as you grow more experience, you're like, okay, this is the direction I want to go in.
Right.
So how did you pivot? Like, from that point, what did you decide to do?
So after that very experience, you know, it was like a life-changing event, honestly. I moved out to Connecticut all by myself, like, for this experience here.
How old were you at this point?
I was 19.
Okay.
Turning 20, I believe. Yeah.
Word.
So, you know, I was older.
That's a big deal.
But it was a big deal. I'm like, all right, F it. I'm going to move all the way to Connecticut by myself to pursue this very opportunity. And I felt like my life was on the line for it. It was like my make or break moment. You know, long story short, it didn't end up going well. You know, decided to leave the show just because, like you said, it did not align with me. So, you know, made that decision, and that taught me a lot. You know, that was the first time that I really had like my own team for real, and people that were like on hand and in-house working for me.
Like with the show?
Yeah, with the show that I was doing. So like,
how were you feeling after you got like who made the decision of like, we have to like part ways? Was it you? Is it like the studios?
It was me. Yeah.
And how were you feeling?
I felt extremely overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I was very sad too, because like I said, like, it was an opportunity at first that was kind of like, this is going to change my life. Like, this is everything. This is going to like be the start of my, you know, career for real. And, you know, I sacrificed everything to be there and do that. So, you know, it's definitely like a wake-up call, but I learned so much from it. You know, I learned what it was to really work with a team, what teamwork really means, you know, and also how to, like, balance a team and to play a certain role within a team as well. And then also, you know, good things came from it, but also bad things on, like, learning how to adapt to situations that you might not feel too comfortable in, or like still working through something, actually being on set, being in the studio, and like someone's just like in your ear saying, do this, do that, and you're not happy with it. So it also taught me how to like speak up for myself as well in a professional setting. So yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, you like, so obviously you have these, what is it, 3-4 singles out now?
Yes. Like
properly out. I know we had the conversation before. With
So High is out. That's a feature that I have. It's a dope song. That's on all platforms. Nervous. I have the acoustic version of Nervous, Minute, and then One of One.
And then within the timeline of like, I guess what we just spoke about, and then like when these were released, like where does it like fall in?
After that whole situation.
So after you decided to leave, and then you gain this experience from starting, like, you know, from being around a team, understanding how your role fits in. Like, again, the question, I guess I'll bring it up, like, how did you pivot and where'd you go from there?
Right. So, you know, I know I did kind of lose track.
No, you're good. I'm listening. No, I'm letting you. Yeah, I'm enjoying the conversation.
So yeah, that whole like reality show experience happened. I moved back home to South Jersey. You know, still was trying to find any opportunity for me to, you know, continue my passion and my dreams. I did have the opportunity to work with a producer and an engineer down in South Jersey. We actually created our own label at the time. So then I was like signed to them. That was really cool, like, while it lasted as well. You know, he was a dope engineer, dope producer. I had a smaller team, but, you know, people that were helping me like do the things I needed to do. COVID hit around that time. So that kind of like messed everything up. Life was super crazy for like my producer. You know, he was handling things like in his life as well. So that just didn't end up working out in the long run.
And before we move on, like, I know, because you just said like we started our own little like label thing. There is a story there.
There is.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of want to tap into that, like, because like I said, there's so many people here that are doing artists, and they're just starting off.
Right.
But like, how was that process of starting your own thing, and what did you learn?
You know, like I said, it was a smaller team, but in order for it to like make sense for real, that's why we decided to like start a label. It was called Momentum Music Group. I'm just gonna name drop stuff today.
Okay.
Make it juicy. That way a lot of people can tap into this.
Okay, yeah, we love that.
And honestly, these are things that like I haven't actually like been specific about in any of my podcasts that I've done. So I think it's time to just like put it out on the table.
I mean, here on Modern Day Artists, like, I mean, besides the fact that like we have people watching, like I'm just trying to like understand your story.
Yeah,
and, like, the truth
which I appreciate.
Like I'm trying to learn because like at the end of the day, like I'm trying to figure out who you are.
Yeah.
I've never spoken to you before this. We hopped on the phone for a bit. But yeah, like I said, just tell me your truth. Tell me your story.
So yeah, that was down in South Jersey. We started our own label. You know, I was in the studio like every other day. It was dope. Like I was in the gym every day too. Like really going for it. You know,
grinding.
Yes. I don't know. Like I guess the story of this like experience isn't like as crazy as the first one, the show I was doing in Connecticut.
It doesn't necessarily need to be crazy, but like you still learn some stuff. Like,
of course,
you still tried.
I think that was an experience where I got to like really, as far as like recording, you know, I was more myself. I was able to collaborate with someone that did understand the vision and the sound that I wanted to have. You know, he helped me, like he made the beats, you know, we wrote some songs together and stuff. So it was really cool because that was the first time I got to create from scratch for real.
The first time?
Yeah, the first time.
Every other time, what, they were like telling you what to do?
Basically, or there would be like suggested beats for me to use and like say, here's the lyrics already, just sing this, you know what I mean? On my own, I would be writing and like at home, I'd do my own little thing, but like in a work setting and actually, you know, this is the goal, let's execute it. Usually, yes, I was told like.
Yeah, so this is a side that people don't see. Like once you like start working with another, I guess like a bigger group or like I don't know, umbrella. I don't really know how it works.
Right.
But like.
So yeah, this opportunity when I was down in South Jersey was the first time I got to really like tap into myself and, you know, create my own sound and navigate my own sound and find out more about like what I want for real as far as like recording and making music and who I am as an artist, which I definitely appreciate. You know, things didn't like work out in the long run with them, but it's like no hard feelings. But it definitely did give me the experience on like how to become a better artist and a better version of me as well.
What would you say like during that specific little time frame of doing that? What were the ups and what were the downs?
The ups was like the free range of just being myself and like experimenting and trying new things in the studio, as well as still having a team and like support around me, you know, and a push too. I would say like that was definitely one of the strongest teams I had at the time. It was definitely smaller. It was like only 4 people.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, like I was in the studio every other day. They had me in the gym every day. Like I was doing vocal lessons. Like, you know, it was a lot of stuff.
You was grinding.
Yeah, like I was really
gym, vocal lessons, and all that, and like this was like a part of the culture for that.
For that label.
Okay,
yeah.
that's kind of sick.
So it was dope. You know, I got to really like hustle and work every day and felt like, you know, I was getting stuff done.
Yeah, and then the downs, like what kind of things like happened?
The downs were, I guess, like scheduling, as far as like studio sessions. With that specific experience, like a lot of sessions. This was kind of towards the end, but like I said, it was a crazier time in the world because of the pandemic and everything.
It was leading up to COVID?
It was leading up to COVID,
Gotcha.
yeah. So like, and also, you know, not to put anyone's business out there, but the producer I was working with was kind of going through it like in his own life too. So like there was a lot of like last minute canceled studio sessions or like certain events and things that we were supposed to go to like just fell through. And they already like implemented such a schedule and certain things that I was doing like every other day. And then it just kind of like trickled and fell apart toward the end. So I was like, So I guess like the down was just learning how to adapt and not rely on everyone. Like you have this team here for you, but like you still, I guess biggest thing I learned is like I still have to fend for myself at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Would you say that was like the biggest lesson that you took from this experience?
Yes, for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then right after that, COVID happened.
Yeah, so right after that, COVID happened. That was like a crazy freaking time. Everyone was locked up in their house for months and stuff.
Amen.
So, you know, went through that, was home, like, with my family. I did a few, like, little things here and there. That's when I kind of started, like, getting into modeling, actually. So, like, after the super craziness of COVID and, like, the lockdown, when things started to kind of ease up a little bit, that's when I like paid attention the most to social media. I'm like, okay, if I can't go outside for real and I can't be involved with all these people, you know, let's really go for it on social media. Let's, you know, shoot some content. I'm going to post consistently, like see what comes out of that. So I had the opportunity to join a modeling agency, which was never really like a goal of mine for real. Like I never even looked at myself as a model. But I loved being on camera. I loved being in front of the camera. So I'm like, let me just go for it.
Do you remember I mean, I'm sure you did, like the name of the agency and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Did you like send them pictures and then they selected, or was it, how did that work for you?
It was honestly just through Instagram. So like came across their agency's like Instagram page. I believe I did reach out to them and said like, hey, I'm interested in joining. Like I would love to work with you guys. I did send them a few pictures and they were like, okay, dope. Added me into like the group chats, all that good stuff, and got booked.
Yeah, again,
like,
this is just another example from what I'm hearing. Like it's another example of you like reaching out.
Yes.
Which I think so far it seems to be a common theme. I'm just trying to, and I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay.
Stuff. Like I'm trying to like pick up at that. Not to backtrack too much, but like during that time where like COVID happened and things were closed off, and I know at that point that's when like the acting came in, but I'm sure. I mean, we were all isolated during that time. Yeah. And, like, what kind of things were going through your head? Where was your mind at during that time? Especially as someone who really believed in, the fact that, like, you're an artist.
Right.
You can't do anything.
Yeah. Okay, well, quick story, which will lead into how I felt about that. The day I found out COVID was, like, a thing for real, and they were like, it's coming to the United States and whatever. Yeah. I was actually on set for an independent movie that I was shooting.
Really?
Yeah, and I was waiting for my scene. We were in like this big, beautiful house, and they had the news on in the living room while we were all just chilling, like waiting to shoot. And I remember like the news reporter was talking about COVID-19 and like it's coming to America and like all this crazy stuff. I didn't really understand what it was at the time, but I like have that. When I think of COVID, that's like the imagery that I see in my head. And it's just crazy because like that moment I was working for real, on set for something, and then like everything got shut down, which was crazy and, led me to feel like, damn, how am I supposed to like have these opportunities now when even the stores are closed? Like, what the heck?
Shit was crazy.
Yes, for sure. So I definitely, being very real and honest, like there was definitely like, I wouldn't say like depression, but I guess like I was really sad. Like I felt very, what's the word? Let down from just like life, I guess you could say, because I was like in such a time where I was ready to pursue any and like every opportunity that came my way. And then it was like, the world was just kind of dark.
Yeah.
So after that, it was like craziness. Was locked in the house with my family. And touching back on like, I was like, okay, I'm just going to focus on social media. If I can't really like be outside, go here, go there, do these auditions, perform here, like I'm just going to build up my content. I'm going to do what I can do like in the meantime. So that's when I started like buckling down on photo shoots and like doing little YouTube videos and stuff like that.
And that was your thing, because you just said like my stuff, right?
Yeah.
So and that was like photo shoots and stuff. Can you talk about a little bit about that? Because I think a huge thing with artists these days is you have to have an online presence. Like it's like you really don't have a choice at this point. But what was that for you?
So I guess because there was not much else to do at that time, I just took it upon myself like. At the time, my mom, well, she still has like a nice professional camera, but like, shout out to my mom. We would just go to like these dope locations that was kind of like local. We'd take photos, I'd edit them up a little bit, whatever, and then I'd post them on Instagram. Like nothing crazy, but it was just content for me at that time.
It was something being put out
there. Yeah, so, and there wasn't much else I could do for real. So, I just started posting consistently, like photo shoots. I tried to do like creative looking things or just really dope locations. And then, that's when kind of like the modeling opportunity came into play. It's awesome. I still love it to this day, to be honest. I've done like at this point, I want to say over 300 music videos, maybe more.
Really?
Like, yeah.
300?
Yes. Like I have a playlist on my YouTube that has maybe like 100 plus, and there's still 200 videos that I've just didn't get the artist's Instagram, so I have no idea if it came out or not.
No
or
way.
2, like it just never dropped, Most of the time I just like I got to a certain point where I was like, all right, I'm just coming on set and like got my money and left. But I do love being on set, you know, especially when it is like a bigger artist, or just not even bigger artist, just a bigger production. You know, there's more going on. There's a storyline to it. There's like different locations. So that was really cool. My first like professional music video that I got booked to do was the Gucci music video. It was a Christmas music video that we did. I got a random email. And they were like, hey, we want to book you. It's in New York City, da-da-da-da-da. We're going to pay you this amount of money. And I thought it was a scam at first. I'm like, there's no way. Like, how the heck did they even find me? Like, whatever. Ended up being legit. Like, you know, hopped on a call with somebody. I'm like, all right, like, this sounds good. I went. It was an awesome experience. And then after that, actually, this was before I even joined a modeling agency. And then,
you said after or before that?
Before that. Yeah, so I wasn't even with an agency. I just got an email from someone. And then that was, like, my first, like, I guess, taste of being on set and, like, being in a music video.
And what was that for?
For Gucci Mane.
That was yeah.
So that was cool. And, like, you know, first music video
ever. What do you
say
you learned from, like, being on set? Like, what did you take away from that experience?
Patience. Also, like, maneuvering in a way that's best for you, personally. Because sometimes there's a lot of different people on set. There's a lot of different energies, you know, as far as like the crew and production, and then also like the talent on set as well. So like learning how to maneuver and like hold yourself to a certain standard as well. Okay. Especially like, you know, I guess we'll get to like a little spicy stuff. You know, I've done plenty of like video vixen work as well, you know, having to be like sexy and wear certain things on set. And it's like when you encounter that, sometimes things can get sticky.
Yeah, there's some people that don't necessarily respect.
And they like tell you to do this, tell you to do that, and it might not be in your comfort zone. You know what I mean?
How do you handle that?
I'll be very honest with you, like I have never really had too much of an issue like speaking up for myself. So, you know, I kind of just like say what it is, to be honest. If I'm not comfortable with something, I am not doing it. If it's something that I feel like I am comfortable with, but the pay's not enough, I'm asking for, you know, a higher budget.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And you're not afraid to do that.
I'm not afraid to do that.
I feel like so many times, like, people deep down in their hearts, they know it's like, I don't want to do this, but they don't speak up. So
exactly.
Then nothing, what is it? Closed mouths go unfed? Is that
Yes. And usually, honestly, I'm the girl that like the other models are like, Carina, can you like see if they're gonna pay us more? I'm like, all right, I got you. Like,
you got a voice.
Yes, I have a voice. I've always had a voice, and that's something like I'm extremely proud of myself, because like I think just life taught me that over the years. You know, it's like if I don't speak up for myself, no one else is gonna do it, and then I'm not gonna be happy, and I'm gonna make sure I'm happy in this life. So, you know. Yeah. For
sure. And after that, I mean, going forward, so when did you start dropping like your first like your music? Was that like right after that?
I would say
that like during that time?
It was during that time, kind of. Okay. So I had a lot of experience like modeling, being in music videos, photo shoots, like working with other people. And then I was kind of like not getting tired of it, but would be on set and I'm like, damn, I'm in so many other artists' music videos. Why am I not shooting a music video for myself? Like, you know, it was kind of like this thing that caught up to me, and I'm like, now I have the resources to do so, because like I've been on set with hundreds of people. I know tons of photographers and videographers now. I've created like, you know, a networking group for myself. I'm like, I think it's time to really just like go for it. So I locked in with an engineer and producer that was up in North Jersey.
You still working with him?
No, not anymore. But, you know, recorded like a bunch of music with him, you know, was really dope. And I said, you know what, like I'm just going to start dropping for real. And I wanted it to be as professional as possible and as strategic as possible.
Like the music videos, like the production for it?
Okay. Like everything, just the whole like rollout of everything. So
you were like taking that like creative director role?
Yeah, so like everything that like you see or anyone has seen on my page is like, I'm definitely the one making the decisions. Like I have the creative control.
You know, I love that though, because like, you know, I think this day and age, and like the name of the show, like I said, modern day artists. Like, what does that mean? And so many people answer. It's like means this, means that. But like I think it means like you are able to take different art forms. You're able to take like, oh, I can direct, I can do video, I can sing, I can dance, and I can act, and you put all of these things together.
Right.
And then that's one thing that I did appreciate you when you did reach out. And I like looking at things like, oh, you do all these different things. But that doesn't come easy. So it's like I wanted to hear more of like where does that come from?
I think, touching back on what we were speaking about before, just working with others and like being told to do certain things that you don't necessarily want to do or doesn't fit your image or brand. I was, I had the experience like leading up to this point. So I was like, I'm going to have full creative control. I'm going to set the tone for myself. I'm going to put out the videos and songs that I want to do. So no, it's not easy, but there was so much more of like a drive and passion behind it because I knew I was able to say, I want this, I don't want that. I want it this way, not that way. So like it was enjoyable going for it, because I know that like at the end I was gonna be happy with the final product. But it's a lot of consistency for sure, like staying up late, getting up early, working on certain things, like pushing yourself to be on the phone or be on your iPad, be on the computer and edit videos or send emails, structure certain things like.
And this was all for like the production of like your own music videos.
Yeah, production of my own music videos, writing songs in general, and then just like opportunities that follow all of it. And yes, reaching out to other people. Hey, can I perform here? Hey, can I hop on your show? Hey, can we do a photo shoot? Like, it's super important. I would say like networking and reaching out to others is definitely key.
How do you go about that? Like, what do you do? Where do you look? Where are the sources? Because people don't like they hear this, right?
Yeah.
They hear you got to be the one to reach out. But where did you get these resources from, or what did you do to get access to them?
I mean, honestly, okay, I'm gonna touch on two things. So before I started dropping my own music, I would say, okay, pre-COVID.
Gotcha.
Let's break it from this. Yeah.
I wish I could put a graphic on the screen.
Pre-COVID. The experience wasn't as much. It was a lot of local stuff, I did the thing in Connecticut, stuff like that. I got that opportunity through a casting website that I was introduced to from my acting agent I had like years back.
Yeah.
So, I had that platform to use, I guess, to get opportunities. So I would just really, like when I was younger, I would research on Google, like local DJs, radio stations, like whatever I could find and send out so many emails to people. I remember like a day that I sat on my computer all freaking day and I sent out so many emails. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really hear back from many people. Besides, actually, one person fell through, but...
but I love that. Like, I love that. Like, and I'm thinking of someone specifically, and I know you're watching this. I know, I know you're laughing right now. But, like, to sit down and take the time to just cold outreach. Mm-hmm. And it's a grind. And like you said, you're probably not going to hear back.
Yeah.
Till you do.
Exactly. Till I do. And then, after COVID, once I did like have more experience, my social media was built up a little bit more. I really did like leverage Instagram as much as possible. I could still be doing more, to be honest. There's so much to be done on social media. But as far as like reaching out to people, I would just come across like certain pages or like see someone else post someone's like platform or whatever it may be. And if I felt like it was aligned with me or if it was an opportunity I wanted to go after, yes, send that DM, send the DM, say, hey, like your work is dope. I'm interested in working with you. Like, let's see how we can make this beneficial for the both of us. Let's exchange our value. And if they don't see value, because that happens sometimes as well, like sometimes you are going to have to like pay to play. You know what I mean? That's how you build up your portfolio or your exposure and stuff like that, which I don't love. But if you are an upcoming like independent artist, sometimes that's the case. If you feel like that it does resonate with you, I say go for it,
Mm-hmm. It's an investment, it really.
It is. Everything is an investment. And if it's not money, it's your energy. It's your time. It's your heart.
Nothing's free. And then that being said, like sometime, and I kind of spoke with Angelise actually, we kind of talked about it, like sometimes like, and you know her. Mm-hmm. How did you guys meet actually?
So we met at a show, I believe. Yeah, we met at a show. She was dope. Me and her were the only two females performing. So like automatically we were like, okay.
Like I gotta speak to you.
Yeah, exactly. And she was really cool, super sweet. And her music is awesome too. Like I feel like her image was also very similar to mine. Not to like downplay anyone because everyone has their own thing, but like I feel like she's a pop star too. You know what I mean? Like what she's trying to give and her brand is very polished and energetic. Like, she has a vibe to her. And then I've definitely met other, like, speaking on females, like, their brand or what they were trying to portray doesn't resonate with me. So it's like, you know, I came across her and I was like, she's dope. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, you just resonated with, like, you feel like you guys were kind of pretty much aligned.
Exactly.
For the most part, yeah.
So, you know, we met at a show and then, you know, shared each other's, like, social medias, would, like, chop it up here and there. And then we got booked for a few more shows after that together. So I would see her, like, frequently. Well, not together, but, like, you know, I was booked for that show and so was she.
Okay,
so we'd see each other, like, at the show.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, you know, I would see her pretty often, like, performing-wise and stuff. And then, you know, when I do perform, if it is, like, a bigger show, I do have backup dancers. I bring my dancers with me. Shout out to Snatched Agency. And that was something, like, you know, I guess she's a dancer as well. She had her own dancers at the time. And then, you know, she started working with Snatched Agency, too. So that was something that kind of, like, brought us closer together as well. But she's dope. Shout out to Angelise. So, yeah.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, so because you guys met, and this is a form of networking. And networking is just so important. Like, how would you say you do it? And how would you encourage other people to, like, do that?
Be friendly and come with a smile, you know. To be very real, I feel like females do have a little bit easier versus men, unfortunately. But, you know, be genuine, be yourself. I always, like, greet everyone, yes, with a smile. I feel like it warms people, you know what I mean? It makes them feel like you're easier to talk to. And also don't, like, overload them with, like, too much information. I feel like a lot of things, like, speak for itself. Like, your energy speaks for itself. So, you know, if I ever felt like there was someone, a certain someone that, like, looked important, or hey, I know them from here, I want to, like, let them know this is what I'm doing, like, how can we make something make sense? I would literally just walk up to them, like, how you doing, what's going on, like, nice to see you here, just a casual conversation. And then, like, usually, you know, like I said, the energy speaks for itself. So it's like they might even bring up something or present you with an opportunity before you even get to say that's what you want, you know? So I think just being, like, memorable and, you know, that first impression is definitely super important.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about not just the future of music, but also your future in music. What direction do you want to take everything? And where do you see?
Be more specific for me. Like, what do you mean?
Okay, for sure. Okay, so I was watching these old interviews of you, and I was like, you know, you were teasing these EPs and stuff like that, and of course, like, as an artist. So I guess we can start there. It's like, where do you see yourself as an artist?
Right.
But I also asked kind of Angelisa's question, and it was like, beyond just the label of artist, like, what do you as Carina want to do? Like, what does that look like?
Like I said, I want to be, like, a well-rounded entertainer. My dream is to have a world tour one day. Like, I love performing. I think performing is definitely one of, like, my favorite things, being an artist. So I would love to travel the freaking world and just, like, sing for so many people and have a huge production as well, because I do love to sing. I love to dance. I love the energy. Justin Bieber is another one of, like, my inspirations that I love so very much. And, you know, anytime I've seen him in concert, his music videos and stuff, just to touch on this, you know, he does the whole shebang. And I want the whole shebang, you know?
Yeah.
So other than that, like, and I do act as well. So, like, I would love to eventually actually, like, get into movies, commercial work. I mean, I've done some commercials already, but, like, on a higher scale. You know, even, like, clothing brand things. Like, I want to tailor off into different people. And, you know, now in my life, no, it's like I'm not the biggest artist in the freaking world, clearly. But, like, the A&R thing that I started, you know, this is another avenue. I said, like, this is only going to help me, like, in the long run. I'm going to learn so much from this. And I'm giving to others as well. You know, I'm building myself up by building other people up, which I think is very important. You know, so I think it's just, like, stepping into other avenues that are within the music industry or the entertainment industry and seeing what, like, truly works for me. But, like, the goal is definitely to be, like, a pop star and an artist and, like, you know, it's not even just, like, the glitz and glam. Like, I think that's something that can be enjoyed through the process of it all. But, like, you know, what makes me wake up every day and say, I'm Carina Barrios and I'm an artist and I'm going to do music to the day I freaking die is the message that I want to broadcast to the world. And it's like, just be yourself. You know what I mean? That's what my single One of One is about, is like, a lot of people focus on their differences and think that it makes them like looked down on or judged by others. But like, I truly think that the simple fact of like everyone being an individual, you are one of one, like that makes you unique. That's so special within itself. Like, it's the simplest thing. Like, me and you are not the same. You and someone else are not the same. And like, that doesn't make you lower. That doesn't make you different. It makes you special, because there is no other one of you. You know what I mean? You are one of one. So that's what I want to like let the world know. Like, go after what you love. You have to believe in yourself and instill that confidence and, you know, that love, that self-love for yourself before you go after anything, no matter what it is. So yeah, like that's the message that I do want to get across, like, to the world, is like, just love yourself, be you. Don't be afraid to go after what it is that you want to do.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
We need to clip that. That was from the heart. So going into the A&R stuff, just tell everybody about this, because this is what you're doing now.
Yes.
Just tell me about it.
So,
what's going on with you?
Popular Outcast Management is an artist development and, you know, growth management company. Me and my partner, Tino Nami, he's the CEO of it. You know, we started doing this, I want to say maybe like 6 months ago now, it's been like officially that we really like put this company together and, you know, been like setting goals for ourselves. We have a number of artists like, you know, on our team. So basically, you know, what we do is help upcoming independent artists like reach their goals and provide them with opportunities that they might have not had like on their own.
Like,
you know what I mean?
stuff.
Yeah, performing, content, photo shoots, music videos. Actually, last weekend we just shot a music video for one of our artists, J Moon 56. Shout out to you. That was really dope. You know, we put a whole production together, and that's something that I personally love to do too. Like, you know, even speaking on like my own music videos and stuff. So that was like an awesome opportunity. And like, you know, a lot of these artists haven't shot a music video yet, or like haven't performed on a stage yet, or whatever it may be, or haven't been in a professional like studio yet.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them have just like used their own resources, which is awesome because they're taking the steps to do so and reach that next
shows
level.
The effort that they
have,
the commitment.
So, you know, we've just made it a little easier for these artists to like be a part of not only like a team, but a community for real. You know, it's like, yes, we're providing these artists with resources, but we're also providing them with a community of support, which I think is the biggest thing, you know.
Yeah, and if people want to get involved with what you're doing, like, where could they figure that out?
You can tap in with me on Instagram or the Popular Outcast Management page. It is in my bio. And just send us a DM, you know. Let us know that you're interested in possibly joining the team, working with us in whatever capacity you might be interested in. We do have a festival show coming up very soon, July 6th, Summerfest. It's in Freehold, New Jersey. It's going to be an indoor and outdoor show. It's going to be super dope. We're going to have like over 50 vendors there. There is a $500 mechanical bull riding contest.
That's fun. I love
like,
those things, bro. Those
yeah,
are so fun.
A little foam party stuff going on. So it's going to be dope. It's going to be a vibe. It's 4th of July weekend, so if you have nothing to do, pop out.
Where would you say like you're mainly based with that whole production?
With Popular Outcast?
Yeah.
Tri-state area. So like a lot of our artists are in Jersey, New York, Philly. You know, and we've done work in all 3 states, to be honest.
Yeah.
So like, you know, technically, yes, like if you're located in the tri-state area, it's probably best, you know, obviously, so you can physically come to these events and pop out to our content days and stuff like that. We have a content day coming up at our studio that we're partnered with. Shout out to Detox Studios. And then we have another one at a photography studio on the 28th. So it's like, you know, we stay working. We put together like a lot of things for our artists to pull up to. You know, we'll get done as much content, recording, everything like that in one shot. And then, you know, we help them with like marketing themselves and posting, having that higher quality content on their page, and, you know, also connecting them with like different brands or people that they're going to be able to like, you know, experience certain things with and gain more knowledge.
Yeah, and then that's where you guys are at now. I mean, I feel like we're caught up in the timeline now. So, I mean, is there anything else you really just want to go over real quick before, you know, we kind of sign off?
I appreciate you for having me, of course. You know, I appreciate all of y'all for watching, tuning in. You know, my piece of advice I'm going to have for you guys is, like I said, like, be true to yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. There is only one of you. If there's something that you love to do, go after it. Don't be afraid, because you're going to regret not going after it instead of like just being comfortable. Sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone is the best thing to do. So yeah, continue to be consistent, work hard, go after what you love to do, and I'll support you, and you can support me too. Thank you, y'all.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please check her out. All the links are going to be in the description down below.
Yes.
Wait, I have all this. What is the song? I mean, I know you got the latest one of one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what, I mean, I was going to say, what do they have to go listen to? But
y'all got to definitely listen to One of One. That's going to like inspire you, give you some motivation. But if you want to like turn up a little bit, dance a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Definitely tap into Minute. Y'all gonna like that one. I think that might be like one of my favorite songs. One of One is like my favorite song, but the second one is definitely Minute. A lot of people do enjoy that. So
amazing. Thank you so much, and have a good life.
Yes, have a good life.